Hello, I am Jordan Chico, and in the following video I will be demonstrating the add request function of my equipment database project. Now you can see in our database we have two projectors. Projector B is currently inside of a room. That means it's being stored in that room. It's always there. Projector G, however, is in the equipment database and is available to be requested. So we'll be trying to request that one into room 101 of the architecture building. As you can see, this piece of equipment with equipment ID 4 has been requested on the 21st from 1 to 2 p.m. for a non-recurring request. This means that the request will happen once on the 21st and then it will end. It has also been requested on the 18th from 1 to 2 p.m. for a recurring request. This means that the request will happen multiple times. It also has an end date, which you can see is September 1st. This means that the piece of equipment will be requested every Tuesday from the 18th to the 1st at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Now, let's see what happens if we try to request that piece of equipment on a date that has already passed. We'll set the start and end time from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and we will set the date to the 10th, a date that has already passed. We will set the room and building for which we're requesting it, and we get an error. So that's all good. Now let's try seeing if we get an error if we try to request the piece of equipment at the same time as it's already being requested on the 21st. And as you can see, it says that all equipment of that type, meaning projectors, are unavailable at that time. So that's what we want to see. Now let's see what happens if we request that piece of equipment on a Tuesday that falls within the other request's recurring date. And as you can see, we get the same error because it's already being requested for that time. And now let's see what happens when we can successfully request that piece of equipment for a non-recurring request. We get a request confirmed confirmation as well as a notification that we will receive an email. You may have noticed a warning on that. Do not worry about that. That is an error that is only caused by the fact that I'm running this form on a local host. Once this form is online, that error will no longer happen. So that's nothing to worry about. That's just a temporary thing. Now, as you can see, the request has been added to the database. All of the information matches what we wanted to look at. So now let's try the same things we did before, but with a recurring request. If we have a recurring request that occurs on the same day as the request on the 21st at 1 to 2 p.m., you can see that we will also get a similar error. Similarly, if we create a recurring request that falls within the start and end date of the recurring request on Tuesdays, and also set it for the same time, then you will see that we also get the similar request. So we're going to go from the 25th to the 29th, to let's say September 29th. Got to make sure to set it to PM. We don't want to be requesting equipment for the middle of the night. And you can see that all equipment of that type is unavailable at that time. Now, if we had waited until after the first to set up that equipment or to request that equipment, we wouldn't have had a problem because it would have been available by then. But because we started from the 25th, it wasn't available. Now, let's see what happens if we set the start date to a date after the end date. So let's say we want to request a piece of equipment from August 27th to August 20th. Now this obviously wouldn't work, so we need to return an error there, so that all works out. And now let's see what happens when we successfully request a piece of equipment with a recurring date. We're going to go for a pretty long term, so we'll go October 1st to, let's say, the end of December, and every Thursday. And there we go. You get the same email error, but again, that won't cause any problems. Nothing to worry about there. And there's our other request. Thank you for watching. I hope this demonstration has been useful to you in showing the utility and functionality of my equipment database project.